Welcome to episode number 255 of the Keep Up Podcast,
where we invite you to the ice charades, where it's icy and fun.
What's an ice charade?
Dude, it's a classic Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Don't
joke.
Ever look over me.
Brody is licking Brett. Lean that way. Nope. Look at him.
I still can't.
Look at him.
No.
Okay.
Don't ever look over my shoulder.
But yeah, ice charades, it's essentially it's charades on ice.
All right.
I don't know who it's good for, though. Like, are you there? Because it's like an event, like Disney on Ice.
Isn't a charade like a...
Well, it's a game. Charades?
Yeah.
Where you had to, like, mimic something for people to guess?
Isn't a charade like tomfoolery that, like, I won't stand for this charade?
I guess it could be. So the ice charades are not the game, but instead...
Yeah, like, obviously you can name a game, like there's Taboo.
Right.
And that's, like, not a great thing, right? If something is taboo.
Right. We forgot to move the microphone. Anyways.
For what?
So people can hear us.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Brett.
That's Tim's fault.
It is my fault.
Well, speaking of Tim's fault,
yeah.
Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food. And we're streaming live on Twitch, as we almost always do. That is on Twim's Titch channel.
Wow.
That was super hard to mess up, actually.
That was
the moment I chose to mess it up.
It sounded painful.
Everything shut down.
Yeah.
Tim's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Collection Revolution. That is most Wednesdays. This week it's on Tuesday. I feel like it's been a different day every week.
Dude, it's been my whole life. My streaming schedule has been nothing but insanity.
Why?
I've just been busy.
You've been busy.
Just working on the ice cream truck, life events.
Right.
Today we were supposed to do something and it didn't work out. But now we're... What? Uh-oh.
Something just made the craziest noise.
Is it an alien? Oh, Brett just looked like...
It sounded like someone, like a record scratch.
Is it my mic?
Hang on, stop for a second.
Yeah.
There's something going on. Let me see your mic.
Yeah. Hey, oh, yeah.
All right, I think we're good now.
Was it my mic?
I think you're okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think so. I think it was your mic, but yeah. So you've been busy and
yeah, it's a good summer, just a busy summer.
You know that song "Cruel Summer"?
Cruel summer.
Good Lord.
Cruel summer.
No, it goes "Cruel, cruel summer." You know that song?
Criminal undercover.
How much do you know about Ace of Base?
I know Ace of Spades. Don't
turn around. You know that song? Cause you're gonna see my heart breaking.
Don't turn around.
Dude, that was on a compilation. There's another famous song that says "Don't turn around," and it could not be further from what you just did.
Baby, don't turn around.
Is that something?
No.
Oh my gosh, I never know what he's doing.
You never know. What were you gonna say? We'll finish the other thought. There was a compilation.
I think I said the whole thought.
That's it?
I'm just saying that "Don't Turn Around" song. I listened to Ace of Base the other day on our way home from New York, and they're bomb, dude.
They're bomb?
Yeah, they're really good.
Is Obama part of it?
Huh?
I don't know.
Are you insinuating that Obama...
He's the bomb.
Oh.
Yeah. He's just cool.
All right.
That's it.
You better be careful there,
I wasn't saying nothing.
Better be careful, buddy.
You know what my brain was doing? It was rhyming. So, bomb, Obama.
So
it went to a rhyming scheme.
Define for me the word rhyme.
When two things sound similar.
I guess.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nothing rhymes more than bomb and Obama.
It let me continue the conversation in a way where I didn't know what you were talking about, but I could find something that I know about, which is Obama.
If you want to hang out with us other places, you can find us on socials at the Keep Up Podcast. That's on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
Wow.
And you can get yourself some bonuses at patreon.com/the Keep Up.
Keep Up.
I was going to bring us into Reflections this week for the first time to, not for the first time in Reflections, but
ever.
To reflect on our Patreon comments and responses, but I couldn't sign in just now. So,
well, I can.
I couldn't, but we don't want to do it now live. It's poorly prepared.
Dude, isn't that our whole podcast?
Well, yeah, but this is like, this will be extra, ultimately not prepared because there'll be no structure.
We got to know where the comments are.
Right. That's the thing. We're just going to scroll through every video and like read them back.
Yeah.
I had a plan in my mind, but I couldn't.
Dude.
And yeah, I mean, should I have tried to get on there before hitting record?
Yeah.
You know, like 5 seconds before we started recording? Maybe.
Sure.
But I logged in recently and I had no issues.
So that when you tried to log in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up.
I thought you were going to say more.
So then when you tried to log in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this week, we have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Many things.
I'm excited. We're going to talk about the new Ninja Turtles movie, which I've seen twice. It feels like way too late for us to talk about it on our podcast.
Too late. It's not too late.
No, I just mean like
too late.
we typically would have talked about it like the week of.
Don't turn around.
Don't turn around, cause you're gonna see my heart break
behind you.
Don't turn around.
Look away.
I don't want you seeing me cry.
Don't cry, baby. So yeah, Ninja Turtles. We're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about a lot of movies.
Yeah.
But before all that, Brett, I gotta take us into television.
Okay.
Talk about a crazy thing that happened.
Sure.
Okay. Don't turn around.
Ready? Nobody's talking to us.
Yeah, everyone went to sleep. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to television.
You used to watch TV.
It's weird because TV, yeah, I still watch TV.
Cool.
But TV is, it's different now. It's not the same.
I think in our first episode, I said something like, I was like, Tim, TV. And you were like, TV is TV.
I'm just bringing it all back.
Bringing it all back.
Don't turn around. Anyways, television. So Friday night, I went to bed.
Not good.
Yeah.
Good.
This is where the story starts.
Yeah.
Went to bed, fell asleep, woke up dramatically at 4 a.m. because my dog Hootie came busting in the room. He's like, dude, I got diarrhea. I'm like,
shoot.
You do?
He said it to you. He spoke it to you.
Yeah. And he was like, I got to go. And I'm like, dude, it's 4 a.m. Can you hold it? He's like, nope.
Right.
So I let him out.
Of course.
So now I'm in my delirious state of being awake at 4 a.m.
4 in the morning.
Which I went to bed at like 2. So I was in like deep REM sleep.
Right.
And I got busted out of it. Brett almost just spilled his drink on everything. But he's good.
Yeah, we're good.
So I woke up. I was awake. And I was like, I got to go back to sleep because I'm tired. I got kind of an early day tomorrow. Got stuff to do. And I couldn't. So my television, I set it to YouTube before I go to bed and I put on just some random video.
Yeah.
But it tends to, fall into some random places of the YouTube space of videos that I like to watch. Sure. And so there's a YouTube channel called Cereal Milk VHS. And what they do is post these like 5 to 10 hour compilations of blocks of TV shows like I get on the VHS tapes. Sure. So this one in particular was I think it was ABC like morning cartoons. Oh. I don't know what year it was, but it was showing Ace Ventura. Oh yeah. Ace Ventura cartoon. Yeah. Never seen it, never heard of it.
You didn't know it existed?
I may have been aware of it, but when I was watching I was like, I didn't know this was real.
Yeah, I remember it being out.
So I don't remember watching it or anything. So I was watching it, and then it struck me, and I was like, this is a weird cartoon. For like a property that is not geared for kids, I'd argue. Sure. Because is the original Ace Ventura PG-13?
That would be my guess.
Yeah, because there are some things that happen in it that it's not for children.
Yeah, for sure.
So it just struck me weird. And the show itself was fine. He was like, just a goofball. He was playing the character, obviously. Yeah. I don't know if it was him voice acting, but it sounded kind of like him.
I was wondering that, yeah.
I'd have to double check. I didn't do my research on that.
Yeah.
But what showed on after was Conan. There was a Conan cartoon.
The Barbarian?
Yeah, the Barbarian. Yeah. Which that is a hard R-rated action movie.
Really? I've never seen it.
Yeah, I just watched it recently. Yeah. And it's good. It's but I mean like
so Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. Cool. Yep, there are people being decapitated, there's nudity, like it is a mature movie. Yeah. So they made a cartoon about it.
Weird.
And again, it strikes me so bizarre because I'm like, who is this for? Because the kids are not going to go out of their way to go see this movie.
No.
Obviously. And the adults, I assume, aren't like going to like look for cartoons based on these R-rated properties.
Right.
So I watched that episode of Conan, and they definitely, I say it weird, by the way, I say Conan because that's how they all say it. Some people just say Conan, but I say Conan, just if you're wondering why.
No, I say Conan.
You say Conan?
Conan is Conan O'Brien.
Right. But some people just say Conan, and they might be like, why is Tim putting weird inflection on the Nan?
That's
Conan.
weird. The only way I know it's the fantasy property
is Conan.
By the Nan.
Yeah. Now I've said it a lot, so I'm going to say it weird the rest of the time.
Yeah, it's starting to feel real weird.
Yeah. So yeah, watching the episode, and I don't know if this is like, if the kids are there every episode, but there are these 3 like little kids that adventure with him. And they each have their own like
sounds familiar
special ability. There's one that has this invincible armor. Yeah, they actually use him as a shield to like run through an area.
They use him?
Yeah, they're like all behind him, and he's like, "I'll take all the fire."
Come to me, shield boy.
Yeah, that's really what he was.
That's funny.
So yeah, but it's the story itself kind of, it feels very Conan-ish, because they go to this island where there's a bunch of these like little demon guys attacking them.
Of course.
And they realize they're cursed, and so they had to go get this like magical gem to free them. But someone wants it for evil, blah blah blah. This is all one episode. But yeah, it's very heavily like toned down for kids, where he rarely uses his sword.
Oh yeah, he kind of couldn't back then.
Like, right. He had a weapon, and all he would do is like hit him with the hilt of it or punch things. And the only time he used his sword was at the end of the episode, where he had to choose to destroy the diamond, the crystal, or to keep it. He obviously destroyed it. Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
And that was the only time in the whole episode he used his sword, was to destroy the crystal.
Yeah, I guess that's not surprising. That, I mean, I guess my first thought is they were just like expanding the audience. They were like, okay, so this is a very mature movie, but we could easily I almost said euthanize this. That's not right. We could easily make this more tame for kids.
Yeah.
And because it's already like this fantasy world, and now we just add some kids, and boom, we got the kids, we're selling toys. Did it just feel like watching a He-Man episode though?
Yeah, but with a little more
nudity.
Not that I saw, but no, more
nipples.
Also not true.
Loincloth.
Probably. No, well, it wasn't as like goofy, you know?
Yes.
Because the animation was a little better. You know, it's that late 80s, early 90s type feel.
Right.
Where it was, it felt like it had a better budget than He-Man did.
Okay.
Because He-Man, you know, watching it is pretty rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just struck me weird. And then RoboCop was on right after.
Oh my god!
And I was like,
"What?
There's a RoboCop cartoon?"
That I don't know if I knew that. How was that?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It's tough to place exactly when it takes place. It's got to be after the first movie, but the status quo was weird at the end of the first movie, so I don't know how they got to where they were in the show, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like,
but you think it's supposed to like be connected to the movie?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the it's all the same people.
I mean, I know it's a RoboCop. Like, I know it's the same story, I guess,
but it's definitely like...
Do you think it's written like, watch the movie and now watch the cartoon?
It feels like it, because I watched it was the first episode.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up after, and I was like, oh, that was the first episode. And yeah, it's just like, he just does what he does in the movie. He goes around and kills guys, and I won't say kill. All the guns are set to like electrify shock, so everybody just gets stunned. But
that's funny.
Yeah, there's a ton of guns in it, like futuristic guns, and he does the same thing in the movie where he like the gun comes out of his hip and he shoots it. And yeah, he has his partner. And it's just it was so jarring because they did it in a way where it totally worked as a cartoon. But knowing how violent and intense the movie was, I couldn't believe that they would even dare make a cartoon about it.
That is super interesting because I'm thinking back, and like the only reason I know, or I knew RoboCop, like I didn't see the movie until way later, at least not that I really remember, but the way that I knew RoboCop was by playing the Terminator RoboCop Sega game.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which... in my memory is incredible.
Yeah.
I haven't revisited it. So
I wonder if it holds up.
But it was so sick. And that's how I remember RoboCop, which, what a crossover, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And that was the only time. There was never a movie or anything, right? Was it based off a comic? Or?
Maybe. It could have been. But yeah, it was super sick. And that is, I mean, there's just an example I can think of where as a kid, I totally knew who RoboCop was. And I had sort of an idea of like what his story was, but I didn't see the movie for probably another decade after I played that. And I'm trying to think of what the equivalent is today. Like, it's not like we get, I don't know, we don't get like an animated Hereditary.
No. Right, like most of those things will fall into anime or YouTube shorts and stuff like that, but again, they're never for like kids.
Like I'm trying to think of like a PG-13 or R-rated movie.
Like Property Now?
Like John Wick.
Yeah.
There's not a John Wick cartoon.
No, but they totally would have made one.
Watch it so hard. Yeah.
So after I saw those, I was like, what other cartoons? There was one for Rambo.
Rambo cartoon?
Ghostbusters, which everyone knows
I remember Ghostbusters.
What else was there? Men in Black, which again, that one's not rated R, but
yeah, that one seems easier.
Yeah, seems like, more fun.
Like it's because that almost has like kids could watch that movie.
Yeah,
we watched it pretty young.
Yeah, probably.
There's nothing. That one kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Ace Ventura is like a weird one because
they did one for The Mask as well, but that's kind of more slapstick, goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a live action cartoon essentially, and based off a comic originally, I think.
Oh, right.
So okay, what else? Were there any others?
What else stuck out to me? There were definitely other ones, but
Rambo's weird.
Rambo. When I saw that, I was like, "What the hell?"
Why didn't I get any like Jean-Claude Van Damme cartoons?
I know. Like, I feel like, dude, your example of John Wick is perfect because it exactly would have been.
That's what it is. They would have been like, all right, he's gonna like have a crossover with Johnny Quest.
They're gonna, and that he'll get his own show.
I miss that era of cartoons.
Yeah,
and it was like that was kind of before our era, but because of Cartoon Network, I saw Johnny Quest. And what was the updated Johnny Quest that they did?
The one in like the 2000s with the 3D opening.
Was it just called Johnny Quest?
Yeah. Johnny Quest Adventures.
Dude, I loved that.
I did too. The intro and the ending freaked me out because remember the ending where it was all like the wireframe green and they were like going through the caves and stuff?
Yes, I do remember that.
Terrified me. But
wow.
The show itself was really cool because it was more mature, it felt.
That's cool. That was kind of like it's like they took the coolness of Indiana Jones and they were like, let's make a cartoon with that same kind of idea.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there wasn't an Indiana Jones cartoon.
Not that I saw.
Was there a Star Wars cartoon? No animated Star Wars till way later?
Until way later. There was, you just reminded me, The Mummy. The Mummy movies had... Really? Like the new Mummy with like Brendan Fraser. Yeah. They had a Mummy cartoon.
That's cool.
Which I remember that. I remember it existing. I don't remember watching it.
I want to watch all these.
Yeah, that one sounds pretty cool.
Do you remember Mummies Alive?
I only know it because you know it.
Dude, that era of cartoons. Because now I'm thinking of like Pirates of Darkwater, Mummies Alive, not Mad Max.
Mighty Max?
Mighty Max. Yeah. Mighty Max. Yeah, Mighty Max ruled. There were all these like, there was something Cowboys of Moo something. They're anthropomorphic cowboy cows.
One that I really, really got to see after we saw it. I forgot what I watched it for, but was the Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Yeah. That still to this day is like one of the greatest animated things I've seen.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it was I don't know why, it just was so well done. Like visually.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I don't.
What did we watch it for?
We watched it for...
Was it a special?
I think so. I don't know if someone must have suggested it.
Probably. I think we did do an animated or cartoon special.
Yeah. I forget. And so we watched it and it was, it just blew me away. It was so good. So that was on too.
That's funny.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy? A lot of these you can just find on YouTube.
Yeah.
RoboCop, you can find the whole series. And RoboCop had 2 series. It had the original one and then like a sequel series. And that had 3 seasons.
What?
Yeah, 40 episodes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. First season, I think, was like 12. It wasn't very long.
I mean, I'm curious, I guess.
Or first series, I should say.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that they made these cartoons. Because again, I don't know who it's for.
Right.
Like what, maybe to sell toys. Right. That might be the angle.
I think that's it. If that's the question, it's like, all right, we made the movies. The money there stops at theaters or in-home releases. Yeah. You know, VHSs back then. Mm-hmm. And they were like, how do we extend it? And then it's got to be reaching the kids, like toys, video games, cartoons are the best marketing ever.
Ever.
Because wasn't like Transformers was a toy first, right?
Yeah.
And then
I think He-Man as well.
That's right. Yeah.
And they made the cartoon because the toys sold super well.
That's nuts. You know what's weird? Why is there not more of a Thundercats toy line? I feel like those toys would be so cool, but I see, like, do they even exist? Like, they must.
Like today?
Just
or
ever.
Just for sure. I bet there was definitely some back in the day.
Because I feel like, you know, G.I. Joe's, He-Man, Transformers, they were all massive toy lines.
Yeah.
But I've never seen, I don't know that I've ever seen a Thundercats figure. Like, I've seen, I think, modern ones, like the one that came out in, like, 2003 or whatever, which I only watched, like, one episode, but it was sick.
Was that the...
It had the drifter in it, who was a literal drifting guy.
Oh, maybe, I don't think I've seen that one. Like, the wind
would blow, pick him up, and he would drift to different places, and he was, like, super creepy.
Really? He's not like, the guy covered in the red wraps, right? That was the evil guy in the original.
No, I don't know.
In my head, the only Thundercats thing I can think of is Cheetara, and she had like a Barbie-like figure where her hair was like
that sounds familiar.
I don't know why I remember that. That's just what sticks out of my head. Yeah. And I think I can't remember his name, but the like Puma guy with Cheetara. Panthro. He also had like a deluxe big figure, where, but I don't know. I don't remember having any. Yeah. But I feel like I've seen them in my life.
We didn't have many like He-Man figures either.
No.
I did have a couple Transformers. Mm-hmm. You transform them once and then you're done.
Right. It's like
there's no getting it back. It's like unfolding a map. Like you're never putting it back.
I had a lot of what else? I have Power Ranger toys.
Yep.
You had a bunch of like wrestling figures.
I did?
Well, I remember getting like hand-me-downs, and there's this one guy who's bald, and he's like his neck veins sticking out. And he's wearing a black shirt. He's got a goatee, and you could like they would have like sweat action where you fill him up with water.
Oh my gosh!
And he would like sweat.
I remember that. Was it Stone Cold?
It might have been. I didn't know who it was as a kid. I just remember getting him.
Because I don't think I had a lot of wrestling figures. No. There was only like one era of wrestling that I was super into. I had a ton of Turtles.
Yep, Turtles.
Weird. Yeah. I remember that figure.
The sweaty guy.
And he just stood like with his arms out, right?
Yeah.
Like
and
a
he had
wide stance.
He had like a little, exactly. Yeah. And he had like a little nozzle in the back that you poured the water
and you make him sweat.
Yeah. And the button made him like sweat profusely.
It's the grossest figure in history.
And I always had him fight the Rob Zombie toy.
Touched my Rob Zombie toy?
Dude, I had it.
I got that figure
right
again.
You got it again. Yeah, because I remember they seemed to fit in my head. They were like enemies.
Yeah, I could see
that.
So
I had them fight each other.
Maybe because Rob Zombie was kind of like had Undertaker vibes.
Yeah, for sure. But so I remember those.
Yeah. That's funny, man.
Yeah, but yeah, Thundercats never really had much.
No, which I think is funny because that same era, it's still like a beloved show. That is one that for me I think held up way better than any of the other ones. Transformers is good.
Yes. A little cheesy at times, but
yeah, it's a little cheesy at times, but it has some cool episodes. Thundercats was fun. Like, I don't know. I just really liked it.
Yeah, that one's a great one to revisit too.
Snarf's goofy.
Snarf, they always gotta have the comic relief.
I know, they always did.
Dumb.
That was wild.
Snarf was something else.
So that's cool. What was that? What was the YouTube channel again?
Cereal Milk VHS.
Cereal Milk.
And there's a ton of other ones, but yeah, you can just find the compilations. That's where I saw like Bump in the Night for the first time.
Oh yeah.
I think it might have been the same YouTube person.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to go on the craziest.
Yeah, but they have commercials. They have like, and I wasn't exposed so much to the ABC like family morning block, so it's cool to see like the bumpers they had and how different the commercials are from like Cartoon Network and stuff. They uploaded a Halloween one recently, which I thought was so cool. It was like Cartoon Network 1999 Halloween special.
Oh my god!
And they played some golden ones.
That sounds amazing.
It was really cool.
I'm about to look up the WB and watch like Animaniacs and Freakazoid. What was the cat who was a cop?
Bonkers.
That's so funny.
What happened?
That's so funny. Nothing. Just bonkers.
That's
funny. All right. Is it time?
Yes, it's time for Sonic music. Can you feel the sunshine?
I'm so mad at you.
Does it brighten up?
What is that?
Day?
Is that the song you think I'm supposed to find?
It's Sonic R. If you can't find that song, Brett.
No, I'm sure I can. I'm just like.
No, it's just. I gave them bonus Sonic music.
Oh, bonus Sonic music.
Yeah, bone music.
Bonesaw is ready. I got you in the ring for 3 minutes.
Bonesaw.
That's 3 minutes of playtime.
Ow.
What are you doing up there? I love that part.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. All right, we're going to the movies.
Okay. Tichu. Hi.
What happened?
Men in Black cartoons was great from what I remember. Second and third films, not so great.
I thought I liked 2. I never saw 3.
I threw up at 2 in the theater.
What?
I've told this story before.
Okay.
I've never seen the end to Men in Black 2 because we went to see it, I think as a family. I don't know. You must have been there, but maybe not. And so I was feeling sick. There's the part where Will Smith gets in like the big one wheel thing.
Yes.
And I threw up all over the theater. So I left and I didn't see the end.
I do not remember that.
No, I was young. But so yeah, I don't know. And the third one I've never seen. Did they have a fourth one? Or was the third one like the new recent one?
I feel like they had a fourth one that was different people.
With like Channing Tatum and stuff?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah. I don't remember. It's funny how some movies just like leave our consciousness.
Yeah, I know.
We just forget they don't exist.
Because it did so well.
I wonder if they'd ever do the reverse on Adult Swim, like an R-rated Ed and Eddie where they use violence to get jawbreakers.
I'd watch that.
The closest you ever got was Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
It went from Cartoon Network to Adult Swim.
I want Ed, and Eddie in like a heist movie that the stakes are really high.
There's probably some fan film out there.
There's a new show coming out that's like the spiritual successor to Ed, and Eddie. Did you hear
Really?
about that?
No. What is it?
Forget.
Sounds sick though. Same creators?
I honestly have no information. I saw a headline that was like, heads up for Ed, and Eddie fans. You need to, or their legacy continues in this upcoming cartoon or something.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I know. I should have gotten more info.
I think all my MMPR toys are probably gone. MMPR?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Gotcha. I had a Megazord and everything. Oh my god, flashback. Did you ever have the TMNT tower where you'd like put them in different holes and they'd roll down to the bottom?
I think I did.
I'm gonna pull it up. What the
I
heck?
definitely didn't. Oh, they like roll. It had special figures.
Oh my god, what are these things?
That's weird. They have little like ball bearings and they just roll down.
That's actually really cool.
That is cool. I never had that.
I did have for Christmas many, many years ago. I got this awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like layer thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It was like half city, half like
that's
turtle
cool.
layer.
And then like, did it have like the sewer door that opened at the bottom?
I think
and they
so.
Would, like, come out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Because it was based on the 2003 cartoon.
Oh.
And it was like, so it was all stylized and stuff.
I do remember that.
I remember something happened where like I played with it twice and I never saw it again and I don't remember what happened to it. Like I got it for Christmas. We built it a second time and I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
But I remember
either.
it being the best thing ever. I should look it up.
It sounds cool. I wonder what happened to it.
Brett stole it. But you were like old at that time. They would literally roll on their bellies. Is this them on their bellies?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're face down right there.
Oh, I see. So you could flip them either way
Yeah.
because they're on their bellies right there.
Yeah.
That's weird. So what was it? A tower thing where you like put them in different holes and they roll down to the bottom? That sounds cool.
That sounds really
If
fun.
you can find what it looks like, Tichu, send it to us.
I'd play with that.
Yeah, I want that. I know. Now I want to look up that friggin' layer thing again.
You should. I know. Every now and then I'll think of a toy and like look it up and be like, it is real.
Yep. I remember I had a Sonic Adventure. I've talked about this before, but Gamma from Sonic Adventure,
Yeah.
E102. I had his figure as a kid.
Oh, right.
And the figure's like $1,000 now.
Oh, that's the worst.
Out of box too, just like the figure itself.
Is it because nobody cared about him at the time?
I think so. And the company, for whatever reason, everything they put out, what were they called? Toy Saurus or something Saurus?
I don't know
like,
what Toysaurus.
Yeah, they were like a specific
Toy
company.
Biz?
No, I think it was like a Toy Saurus thing. Anyways, but all of the things they've ever done, they had a bunch of video game licenses. They did Crash, they did Jack and Daxter, like they just did a bunch of video game stuff.
Cool.
And everything they did so priceless now because they were the only ones to do it.
Yeah.
So those figures only existed. Like Kingdom Hearts had to run through them. I want to say their name's like Toy Saurus or something, but
I mean that could be it.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound familiar to me, but could be.
Anyways, all that to say, don't look up your old toys because, good Lord, I don't know why I'm holding my mic.
Unless it's Z-Bots.
What the hell is a Z-Bot?
Dude, I loved Z-Bots. I had a, want to talk about this on the podcast?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I have. Maybe I've mentioned this before, but we were just reminiscing, and we were talking about how if you think of old toys and you look them up, like a lot of times you can find them now on eBay or whatever, but every now and then you get a special little surprise where it's $8 million and you can't actually own it again.
Oh boy.
But I was just saying Z-Bots were these little tiny metal robots, and I had a poster that had like all of them, and you were supposed to collect them. It was like the first Pokemon poster, you know? And I remembered them one year, and then my sister-in-law bought me like a box of them off of eBay.
That's so cool.
Bro, it was the coolest present to open. It was for my birthday or something, and it was this random box. I was like, this is weird. I opened it, and I was like, oh, it was just a bunch of loose Z-Bots. I was like, what is happening right now?
Dude.
Like, because I wasn't even sure, like, I was like, were those a real thing? It was wild.
Z-Bots. I don't even remember what they look like.
They're cool, man.
What else has left my brain? Zoids. Those were cool. They were like Transformers, but they didn't transform.
The Noid. Asteroids.
Okay.
Hemorrhoids.
We're starting to lose them.
No, I'm still here, baby. We're in movies. Listen.
Yes.
The movie came out called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
The man is starting off the top. Brett.
What?
Please. Tell us.
What?
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was the greatest movie ever made.
I'm inclined to agree.
So our viewing experience was the Monday before the release date. So a couple days before its official release date. We saw an early viewing, which is super dope. It came with a poster and an exclusive comic. And we had a really rad experience too. We ended up sitting next to someone who we talked with the whole time.
Yeah.
Not the whole movie.
The whole movie. We just wouldn't shut up.
Super cool dude. Shout out Mikey. Dude's name was legit Mikey.
And he was there to see a Ninja Turtles movie.
Yep.
So rad.
We were both wearing Mikey themed shoes, which was hilarious.
But his were natural.
Right. I had mine custom made, and he just found his out in the wild. Yeah. Hiding in a tree.
Yeah.
And he had to use one of those things with the two giant weights on either side, and you go, and it wraps around them, and they fall over. I don't know.
I want to say they're like toe balls.
They're definitely not that. I do feel like there's a T involved.
Yeah.
But it's a
trumpet.
Trombone.
That's what he used.
That's what it was. He used a trombone to capture the shoes in the wild.
Right.
So we saw that viewing. We saw it in a great
bolas.
Theater.
Bolas. No T.
Bolas.
Bola.
What did you say? Two ballos?
Tobolo?
Two balls.
Two balls
and string. That's what you called it. You're pretty close.
Bolas.
Why is that information in your brain?
Dude, I've lived a long life.
I've seen some things. So an early showing of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Yes.
We got there. It was a whole event. You could buy like masks and
Brett bought everything.
I didn't buy everything.
They had an $80 gift pack. And they're like, well, you get one nail clipping from a real turtle.
And
there you go.
No, they did have this like special pack that came with a tin popcorn bucket, and it had a sewer cover, and you got a mask, and you got a decorated cup,
right,
with a topper with one of the turtles on it. But here's the kicker.
I'm ready.
It was like the same price as a large popcorn and drink anyways,
and it was included.
Yeah, it was just included. So I was gonna get that anyways. So I was like, all right, hook it up. Let me get the wrap stuff.
Yep.
But I know there are people who bought all 3 turtles or all 4 turtles. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I meant the other 3 turtles. I bought 1. There were 3 left. Tim doesn't know how to do math, so he's offended that I said all 3 turtles. There's 5 now. There were 6 at one point. He's walking out. The camera is getting weird on the stream. So I bought 1, but the thing is, it was like $30 a piece. Surprise guest today, ladies and gentlemen, Tim from the Keep Up podcast.
Hey, how's it going?
So, as I was saying, what did you just click?
Clips, Brett. I'm making clips. Right. I'm making content.
I don't know. Tim's doing something. So, as I was saying, I know there are people who bought the other 3 Turtles, which is crazy because, I mean, no judgment, but that's $120.
But how much do you think these will be worth someday?
I don't know, maybe nothing. You know what's weird is so they have like the color like wrist pads and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And knee pads, but the color is only on the knee pads. They still have the pads on their arms, but it looks like a printing defect.
Oh.
Like a painting defect.
Yeah.
And none of them have color on there. So they just have like green pads on their arms on all of them on the drink toppers.
Weird.
Which is weird and not the most interesting point of seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. So I was so stoked when the movie was starting. Just the sheer fact that we were watching a new Turtles movie, and I was really excited about this one. Like, the last ones we got were the Michael Bay movies, and despite how I feel about them now, I was just stoked that we were getting a new Turtles movie then, but I did have doubts going in. I was like, I don't know, my hopes aren't up for like this being what I want it to be. Yeah. And it wasn't. It was just, there are a lot of really terrible things that have happened in those movies, like decisions that were made that I was like, oh man, like I love, I'm all for like different takes on properties that I really love, as we can talk about with this movie, because it does take some liberties and make some changes. But that was a moment in the franchise where I was like, ugh, I'm not okay with like the direction of some of this. Casey Jones is a cop. Things are just weird.
Things just don't add up.
They get really strange.
Yeah.
So to be sitting down and watching this movie, knowing what the animation's going to be like, and having seen the clips I was seeing leading up to it, I was like getting super stoked. Yep. And the moment it started, I was like sucked in so hard. Oh, the animation looks incredible. The action that happens really early on. Go ahead, you talk.
No, I was just...
Please, Tim, you talk.
I'm just letting you... Brett.
What?
Have your moment.
I had it.
I will throw my qualms after.
Yeah, you're already going to trash it?
Keep talking about how great it is.
No, you talk about it.
No,
I mean, I have more to say, but...
yeah, no, I was truly blown away because, I mean, going into this movie, you don't know what to expect. Right. You know, Seth Rogen is heavily attached to it, which some people don't really like him.
Which, I don't know what the violent distaste for Seth Rogen is.
I don't either. No, I like projects he's been in, mostly successful. I mean, Sausage Party was a little weird.
I never saw that.
He was in like Superbad and Hello Neighbors. Like, Hello Neighbor? No. Neighbors? I think it was just Neighbors. Like, he's been in a bunch of stuff that I liked. Yeah. I don't know.
He's also written and produced a lot, and I believe the list is pretty noteworthy. And I've heard people say they find him annoying before, but I literally read a thread the other day with it was like a like Ninja Turtles forum, and this dude was like, is forum even a thing anymore? I just couldn't remember if it was like a thread on like Facebook or Reddit or where it was.
It pretty much always ends up being a thread if there's multiple comments.
Yeah. Forum, dude. I was on AIM and I was setting my OA message. So remember chat rooms? You would just like, you could go into like any... How are we allowed to have those?
I don't know. That there was just people talking. Yeah. And you would just send a message like, I'm away, but you're still like in the room.
Yeah.
In the room.
And the rum?
I don't know.
So I read this thread the other day, and this dude was like, I'm a massive Turtles fan, but I will never watch this movie because Seth Rogen's attached to it.
Crazy.
And dudes were like, bro, like, you're doing yourself a disservice. And he's like, I don't care what anyone says. It sucks because he's attached to it. And I'm like, I don't understand that level of disdain. He hasn't even been like canceled or anything. Yeah. So you just don't like this guy? I don't know. It's very weird.
We have someone in chat, Mango, hasn't seen the Mario movie, and he says it's because Seth Rogen's in it.
Really?
Crazy. I don't know if maybe they just missed it and he's kind of making a joke. Mango, if you're here, defend yourself. But yeah, that he won't watch. They haven't watched the Mario movie because he's in it.
That's very strange.
Because you're really, all you're doing is hurting yourself more.
Yeah.
You're not seeing these great things just because someone's in it or associated with it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you know, there are people that will make a movie less enjoyable because of their involvement. Totally at that. I just don't get it for Seth Rogen. I haven't been offended by him in any way.
No, not at all. And I'm a huge fan after watching this.
Yeah, after the Turtles. Yeah.
So as you said, going into it, like, we don't really know story-wise entirely what we're getting into, other than we know there's going to be a bigger focus on the the teenager aspect of it.
Yes.
And a lot of focus on mutants. So, and it's funny, I hadn't really thought about it till now, but there are things we could discuss that the spotlight is sort of taken off the ninja aspect of it in some ways. Although the action and the fighting and all of that animation is incredible.
Yeah, that is one thing that's striking is like when I think about all the other Ninja Turtles things, the ninja is the big part. Like,
it really is.
They're always like impressively stealthy.
Yeah.
They're flying all over the place. But in this movie, I think anytime they do anything stealthy, they always get caught or fall or fail or there's no stealth aspect.
There's a ton of that in Rise, actually.
Oh, okay.
Them trying to like become who they are and all that stuff. So this movie explores that a little bit early on. But what we end up getting is the Turtles who, if you've seen the trailers, they're notably sound younger than any other version of them, and they are played by actual teenagers. We got to see a really cool little behind the scenes snippet for the early showing, and it was really dope just seeing how they filmed it and approached the whole movie. Like they let the kids banter and sort of what's the, I want to say freestyle, but the ad-lib, improv. They improvised a lot of their scenes, and all four of them were recording at the same time, which is great because you get that kind of like group of kids talking over each other and goofing off, and they would keep a lot of that improv in the movie. So it just has a lot of heart and a lot of good energy to it from the very beginning. It's just fun. Yeah,
even like when it gets heavy and there's some like, you know, darker parts to it, it still just feels I don't know, just enjoyable, like light, just very light.
Yeah, it feels like kids experiencing it and like how they would react to that. And I thought April was great. It's a new take on April that has some elements of other Aprils that we've seen before, but she's kind of this I was going to say cool, but there are some things that come up that it's like, is she the cool kid? But
definitely not.
But the Turtles' relationship with April I thought was really, really great, and also super fun because she's just a kid in school. And a lot of what we're getting is the Turtles who really want to be in the human world.
Yes.
That's what they're admiring from afar, and you get some really great moments where they go to a drive-in and they're seeing this classic movie and reacting to that, and you're hearing them talk like kids who are ignorant to the world, explaining what they think it's like to go to high school or what they think it's like out there. And that, all of that stuff I found really endearing and really fun. I liked that a lot.
It hits you right in the feels, and it's relatable. Like, I don't know if I've related to many of the Turtles as far as like, not that I look for being related to characters, you know, being the relatability.
Sure, but you notice it when it's there.
Yeah. And this, you know, it made me think of when I was in high school and just the things that I was thinking and doing at the time. And even them, like, just messing around. Like, we've seen it in the trailers where they're throwing the shuriken at the watermelon and they're all recording and they're like, oh! Like, you can really feel the energy throughout of them just having fun.
That stuff was awesome. Splinter, played by Jackie Chan, is very, very funny. All of his line delivery is some of my favorite Splinter moments. And my favorite Splinter has to be, I think, the 2012 animated Splinter. If you haven't watched that, it's incredible. But this one is definitely up there for me. It's just, he's just fun, and it's Jackie Chan.
It's Jackie Chan.
He's so good.
Can't ever go wrong with the Chan man.
He's so funny. His origin is a little bit different. Splinter's origin has changed in a bunch of in many of the Turtles iterations, but and there were some qualms there. I won't get into too many details, but there were some qualms with his history with martial arts and things like that. Then we get all the mutants later on.
Yes.
And the cast of mutants is so great.
Oh yeah.
And I both mean like the amount of mutant characters we get from the history of Turtles, as well as the voice actors. Who are all great, except I have a problem with two of them.
Which are
Seth Rogen and John Cena. But it's really just the characters. They play Rocksteady and Bebop. And for me, the majority of the movie, all of the comedy lands, and Bebop and Rocksteady have like one or two lines.
They really take a backseat like the whole movie.
Yeah, and like, do you remember their line? What is that?
A dog or a mouse?
Dude, that mouse would have to be the size of a small vehicle.
It legit might be the mouse though, because sometimes the
mouse.
Sometimes there's a mouse in the house.
Something just ran through the ceiling, and it was so loud.
I wonder if you could hear it on the mic.
Holy bananas!
Yeah, I hear it sometimes, but that's the first time I've heard it in a very long time. I haven't heard it
through my headphones. It's just been growing. In your
it's a mutant.
That's crazy.
But yeah, no, I don't even remember. Like, is it a joke? Like,
yeah, it's a. So they first show up and they get out of the car with Superfly, who's played by Ice Cube, who kills it. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of hip hop icons, the soundtrack to this movie is so well used.
Mm-hmm.
The score is incredible.
Yeah.
Done by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, along with Atticus Ross. They've done there was another. They won a Grammy for another soundtrack. I can't remember what movie it was for, but that's great, the score, but then also the soundtrack is very hip-hop centric. And it's funny because I've said before, in the original 1990 Turtles, it was The Social Network. Thanks, Susie.
Social Network.
They won a Grammy for the Social Network score. So I've said before that in the 1990 live action Turtles, they were originally going to do a punk rock soundtrack. And while I love the late 80s, early 90s vibe that we have on there, it's all hip-hop and R&B. I really would love to have seen how that movie played out with a more punk soundtrack. That being said, I'm all for it having paved the way to the way this movie uses hip hop. Yeah. Because it's incredible. It just has a swag and like a smoothness to it. Yep. That just feels so good.
The music was used at such perfect points throughout the movie, and you know, as someone who is very weak in the music game, I very much appreciated the songs they picked, and again how they fit so well with the scene being displayed.
Yes, there's one action scene in particular that I know you and I were both like,
jaws to the floor.
I just could not believe how good it was. And I'm just grateful that it exists.
that we can see it.
To finish the earlier thought, there's a quick moment with Rocksteady and Bebop where they show up with Superfly, and that's pretty funny. Yeah. But later they're talking about this thing, like, how do we overcome this big problem that's happened? And they do something that's basically like, but one thing, how do we do that? And they like say it together, and it just feels goofy. Dumb, like it just, it dumbs down kind of.
I mean, they're kind of dumb characters to begin
with. They are, but there's a way to play them dumb. Like in the IDW comics, they make their idiocy so funny. Yes. Like they're like Dumb and Dumber level. Yeah. It's that kind of comedy. This made it like little kid comedy, which obviously, like, it's a youthful, like the movie is also meant to appeal to children as well. And so it has that fun sense of humor, but that just felt like kind of a goofball moment. Yeah. And for two of like the biggest, at least henchman characters in Turtles history, you know what I mean?
You would think that, but it's, I kind of like that because of how much they're used everywhere. It's cool that I feel like the other mutants were more front and center. Yeah, for sure. As far as things they did and stuff.
For sure. So I could be missing some stuff. I wanted to make sure I mentioned the soundtrack. Yeah. The focus on the voice acting and how that was done. The animation is as cool as you think it is. If you're into the trailers at all, I know some people were worried about the animation at first, and I remember when I first saw the first still shot like years ago, I was like, I do not know what to expect from this. But in that little snippet, whoops, my mic was sideways. In that little snippet that we saw, I'll throw it out here now because I don't know where you can see that full snippet anymore. They mentioned that the way they approached the art is they wanted everything to look like something you might scribble on your notebook in school. Yeah.
And they nailed it.
They nailed it. And they even said, I think it was one of the producers or director of animation mentioned there were a lot of times where they'd be like, all right, make that a little more off center, a little more off. Okay, perfect. Yeah. And you see it throughout. Like that really stands out.
And that is probably where my biggest qualm lies. Okay. I hate how the people look in the movie.
You do? Yeah.
God,
no, I get
they're
that.
so hideous. Yeah. They're so bad. Which again, because I understand that the art is that's intentional.
Sure.
I get it. But like I saw still shots of after seeing the movie and just thinking about the movie too. But like there's not a single good looking character in it.
I feel like April,
yeah.
April's like the only one who looks
because you gotta see her the whole movie. So yeah. But even like, you know, the human villain characters and stuff that you see, like they're just so weirdly proportioned.
They're all very strangely proportioned. Their faces have these like sharp lines and really tiny like short chins or like it's very like Utrum specifically.
Yes.
She has this weird like, I don't know, the way her mouth is shaped is very weird. And it's almost like I could especially see for you, like you can't watch Big Mouth because you hate the animation.
God, I hate Big Mouth.
So like, I could definitely see that, and it did catch me off guard a couple times.
But again, the style with it all, like environments look great, the fluidity of the animation,
and the mutants look great.
Yeah, the mutants look great.
They all look amazing.
Which, you know, again could be kind of viewed as intentional because the movie is about the mutants.
Yeah.
So you know, like the humans are depicted as the mutants in this world because the mutants are like,
oh, that's interesting.
Normal, you know?
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, where it's like, I don't know, it just seems kind of like the focus, if that makes sense. But
the last couple things I'll have to say about it is great post-credit scene, one of my favorite ones I've seen in a long time. So stay for that. And they do something with this story that we've never seen before with Turtles.
Yes.
And I'm very into it.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued to see how I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Obviously I can only say so much, but I think everyone I've talked to so far, and I know you and I after we saw it, it was like, wow, I've never seen that before. And I'm into it.
I'm with it because it's gonna be really cool, especially because they announced a sequel series and a movie.
Yes, we're getting TV and a movie. That's
which
great.
You said that the series connects to the second one. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's supposed to bridge the two movies. So
I wonder how they're going to do the animation.
I don't know,
because that seems like pretty expensive maybe it's really cheap because everything just looks wacky.
They get actual kids to just scribble. I don't know, they might do like the Disney move when they did like Big Hero 6.
Yep.
And what was the other show?
Tangled.
Yeah, and they changed to like 2D animation.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they'll do something like that. I'm very curious where it'll be the same designs, but animation style switches up a little bit.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, like, with the way they take the story, I feel like it makes sense that they'd want to delve into some of the ideas that they present episodically.
Right.
So I'm kind of hoping that's what we get.
Yeah.
And then the movie is like a big event that culminates after that. But I did see it immediately again the next day, and I loved it. I apparently overhyped it to my wife and my kids.
No.
All three of them really liked it, but I was saying it was up there with Spider-Verse for me. Now, and I'm saying Into the Spider-Verse because Across the Spider-Verse was like this whole
untouchable
new level.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Turtles can't get there, but as a huge fan, this felt to me this up there with my first viewing of Into the Spider-Verse, where I was like, whoa, this is a feat. Like, this is an accomplishment. And watching it a second time, I was just as stoked. I don't think anything will beat the first time. There were a couple of moments where I felt like I like almost teared up because I was so happy to be watching it and enjoying it so much. But also, and you mentioned, the movie has a lot of heart.
It does.
I didn't mean to say heart.
It has a lot of heart.
But
yeah, it's like it really pulls on your heartstrings for like how the turtles feel about each other and what they're longing for. And again, teenagers just trying to fit in the world.
Yeah. And
it's the entire movie is all about that.
Right.
And they do it really, really well.
They do. There's a lot about acceptance, and you see stuff, you see story threads regarding acceptance in a lot of different ways. You see a lot of different cool resolutions on that and other concepts throughout the movie that are just like, man, felt that.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel it.
There were two pretty gross comedic scenes. One of them I really liked.
Yeah.
The other one actually grossed me out.
Oh, yeah.
The second one?
Yeah.
Bit much.
And just the sound.
The sound
is really what makes it terrible.
And
because of that, we're both going to say this movie's a sleeper. You can skip it. You know, just
skip it.
Wait for it at Redbox.
Couple gross parts.
Get yourself the 1 month subscription for free.
Yeah, and don't watch the post credit scene. It's not worth it. Definitely don't watch it.
No, definitely a keeper.
Hard keeper.
Yeah, in my opinion, to this day, to this very second, might be the best Ninja Turtles content out there.
It's up there.
Although I do love the IDW comics.
Yes, the comics are great. I think this is hard because our friend Nick asked me, he's like, where do you put it?
Yeah.
But he was saying, was he saying I forget. Something about his question threw me off.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking movies, and I'm pretty sure he was like animated stuff. And I was like, oh, that's tough because the 2012 show just has so much.
Yeah.
This is great, but there's they go so deep in that show.
And that's the thing. I haven't seen 2012. I haven't seen.
Dude,
I haven't finished 2003 all the way. So
yeah, 2003 I've barely touched. You will love 2012.
Yeah,
like I don't know when you'll get the urge to watch it, but I guarantee you
when the time comes.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to just hit me up one day and be like, I'm on season 5.
I'm obsessed.
But yeah, this is up there for me. It's really, really great. And I'm so excited that we're getting more. Because again, to go back to the Bay movies, after the first one, find out we get a second one, I'm like,
why?
Right. Yeah, like I guess.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And then I didn't even see that one in theaters, which is weird. And people didn't really like the 2007 one, but I thought it was pretty good.
That one's just TMNT?
TMNT.
Yeah, that one was cool.
The animated one, I thought that was cool.
Doesn't that play as like a sequel to...
It does imply that it is like the fourth one.
Gotcha.
It comes after the first 3 movies, but it puts them in that same... Which there are some problems with.
Yeah.
Technically, I don't know. I guess not. I guess
it's been a while since I've seen it, but...
It's pretty fun. But this one definitely takes the cake.
Well, to keep on this great animation train,
let's do it.
I yesterday watched a movie called Nimona.
Oh, you watched it?
Holy wow!
Shoot, I've been meaning to watch it.
So you haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I've been meaning to.
Yeah.
I wish I should have. So this is a Netflix original.
A Netflix original. Right? I love this movie. It was good. This movie. It is so freaking amazing.
So, dude, after Sea Beast,
Sea Beast.
I'm like,
it's incredible.
Really?
And so it's a story of Nimona, who is a shapeshifter in this world where everyone's just looking out for monsters and trying to kill monsters.
The greatest power of all time.
Oh yeah. Oh my god! And the way it's utilized in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I mean, I want to watch tonight.
You should. It's seriously like the second you start it, you don't need anything else in life. But it's great. And really the intro like sets a tone that I did not expect for the movie.
Okay.
And it definitely is mature.
Yeah.
But it's for like, young adults if we're talking. But like your kids, they can see it fine.
Yeah.
They
can see it fine.
They can see it fine.
Your kids can see it fine.
But yeah, it blew me away. Again, Nimona was hilarious. I laughed more in this than I did for the Barbie movie.
Seriously?
Yeah. But it's not
that you laughed much during the Barbie movie.
It's true.
Tim didn't like the Barbie movie.
Dude, I loved it. I thought it was great. But
Tim hates women.
Wow. Jesus. What the heck? I'll tell you, I've only ever loved women in my life.
Wow.
Yep.
Feel offended, but
sorry, Brett. Someday.
Nimona.
She is just an incredible character. She's complex. She's so, again, killing me because her whole thing is she like, anytime they're like struggling in a situation, her thing is just to go murder, and she's like, so we're just gonna kill them all then. Again, her character is just a ton of fun. But you also there's another main character, a knight, who I won't say anything about other than his story is also very fascinating.
Okay.
Throughout the whole movie,
cool.
He's technically the protagonist, and Nimona is as well, but they focus on him a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's incredible. The shape-shifting animation again is very fluid.
Yeah.
Moves super fast and like fits again Nimona as the character because she is just so haphazard all over the place.
Was the Mitchells versus the Machines also a Netflix original animated?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. That movie also ruled.
Yeah, this absolutely fits in the realm of Turtles, of Spider-Man, of Puss in Boots.
Wow.
Like this movie,
which that's also on Netflix right now.
Netflix has the greatest selection of animated movies ever.
If anyone has not seen that, because when we talked about it before on the podcast, this is the second Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, I think it's called. They just put it on Netflix. So if you haven't seen that, even if you haven't seen the first Puss in Boots, you just need to go see this movie.
It's still thinking about it.
It's crazy. That was the list you just gave.
Yeah.
Turtles, Spider-Verse, Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
And then Nimona fits in that.
Yep.
Wow.
In the same realm of just...
We're getting some damn
Sea Beast would be up there too.
Oh, I love Sea
What about Klaus? Would you throw Klaus up there?
I do love Klaus, but it's such a different energy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I just think we're in a renaissance of animated movies Disney, but really just the non-Disney renaissance.
Yeah, and I don't think I would. Maybe in Netflix animated movies, but if we're just talking like the current state of animation, I think Klaus goes with Christmas movies.
Gotcha. It goes, and that's fine. I don't think I would put Klaus that high either.
But no, I mean the animation itself is really good.
Yeah, and it's pretty different.
You're listing like action, like
and that's the thing. Nimona's got a ton of action.
That's great. I'm stoked to hear it's that good.
I don't want. I'll wait for you to watch it to talk about like certain things.
Yeah.
Not that there's too much I want to say, anyways, but. When I love something so much, I don't want to tell anybody about it because I want you guys to experience like I did. Because I went in blind. It's based off a graphic novel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it does have some strong source material, or source material at least.
Yeah.
Who knows if it's strong? I know it's strong, but it's a treat all the way through.
That's amazing.
It's got some deep topics. It's got some great action. It's got even the soundtrack has some really surprise bangers. And I was like, oh, they got that song.
I love a good soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Nimona to this day as a character, she's really high up there. It's like one of my favorites. Yeah, I loved her. I thought she just like super funny, super. She's super. Just super.
It's quite super.
There's more complexity to her than just being a little demon.
Nimona, more than meets the eye.
Nimona, a hard keeper.
I love that. I'm very excited.
I'm just gushing over it.
I kind of forgot it was there. We've been running through Stranger Things, so every time we turn on the TV, that's what's going on.
Yeah,
we're almost done with season 3.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that. I'm glad it gets a good review from you, and I'm happy.
I'm
very happy.
And one other quick movie.
Tell me about a quick movie, my guy.
To wrap up our movie segment. You don't remember Sisu, huh?
It sounds really familiar, but I can't place it.
It was there. The trailers in theaters gave it like from the same producers of John Wick, and it's essentially a story of this man during World War II who was like, I'm all done with the war. He finds a ton of gold right at the beginning of the movie, like a massive chunk of gold. And so he's walking across the plains of, I believe he's close to Russia. I know there's Russians around.
Weird. This doesn't look familiar to me even a little bit.
At all? Yeah, it might have like gone under your radar because it wasn't necessarily like a big movie or anything.
Yeah.
But I remember when I saw the trailer for John Wick, or I'm sorry, when I went to see John Wick 4, they showed the trailer for this. And the whole thing was like, this is from the producers of John Wick, your next action favorite. So I wanted to see it because I was like, okay, I mean, if it's got some John Wick connections, I'm in.
That'll pull me in.
But yeah, essentially he has a bunch of gold. He walks past this big like troop of Nazi soldiers. They have like a tank. They have like a guy on a motorcycle, a bunch of guys in a truck, and then what?
They got a tank. They got a guy on a motorcycle.
This is important.
They got a dude on rollerblades. They got 3 guys on skateboards. A couple of BMX guys. One guy parachutes in. It's just a bunch of extreme sports.
One guy's riding a rat.
They got a skateboard. They got a skate park on a float. That's so funny.
It's insane.
So group of Nazis,
yep. And the last thing I was going to say is they had a car full of women they abducted.
Oh shoot.
And so he's going by and he looks at him, and they were gonna kill him. They like pulled out the sniper, and they're like, nah, he's dead anyways, because he was walking to the stragglers from the previous group. Well, let's just say he takes care of those guys.
Okay.
Makes them go night.
Makes them dinner.
Right.
Pampers them.
Yes, and then puts them to bed.
Tucks them in.
Exactly, nice and comfy.
Yeah.
So it turns out he's like this crazy ex-warrior from a different war.
Love that.
And they all are just like, but they figure out he has gold. That's the big thing, is they go back.
Silver and gold.
Silver and gold. So then the rest of the movie is them chasing him down and him potentially killing them or not.
It sounds kind of awesome.
It sounds like it's cool, right? It's fine. It's fine. Some of the kills are cool.
Okay.
Cinematography is really nice. Like visually, it's just the plains in 1944, just open, vast environments.
That's cool.
Hyper and you know, I get you don't go to see movies for it to be realistic or anything. There are some unbelievably unrealistic moments of him that's clearly dead. Absolutely dead.
Oh, him like living through stuff.
And he doesn't die. Yeah. I mean, there's one moment where he is literally overnight. He is in a dead position. He is.
And then there's just a still shot of him.
Yeah, he's just like
waking up.
Yeah, not. I want to spoil it, but I don't. It's something that if anybody was there for like, if they were in this situation for not even a minute, they would be dead.
Yeah.
He literally goes overnight in this position and is like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Now there's like a light reason why he doesn't die,
but you don't buy it.
But I don't buy it. And that's the problem, because that happens like 6 times in the movie.
Yeah.
He like the things he survives. So
that's unfortunate.
So it makes it really frustrating, because I'm like, I want this. But the only thing that kind of makes it okay to me is Sisu, I guess, is definition, like, is not his actual name or anything.
Okay.
It's just like blind luck, stupidity and stubbornness.
Oh.
Like it's an idea.
I see.
So potentially he might represent that idea of the stubbornness.
Okay.
But he feels like Michael Myers, where he's just can't die, and he definitely should die.
He should definitely be dead.
Yeah, but they treat him as like he's just a normal guy.
Interesting.
So it takes me away from it.
Yeah.
So if you can get past that, the movie I think is good. I mean, it's got solid reviews and stuff.
Is Extraction 2 better?
Much better.
Interesting.
I would watch Extraction 2 twice.
Is Extraction 1 better?
Yes, also.
So this movie's okay.
It's very like okay.
It sounds like if John Wick was a sitcom. Yeah. This is like the spin-off of one of the favorite characters.
Yeah, it's really like just like a side character, but obviously no connection to John Wick at all, other than the producers or.
But like also just the like starting, like.
He has a dog too.
It's just like him, starting some mess with some bad guys, and then the whole theme is just him being chased.
Yeah, and him being ridiculous.
Action.
And it is very John Wick, because they get at one point they get word of like who he was. Yeah, and they're like, we should turn away.
Of course. He
killed 300 people.
I mean, I do love that story.
Yeah, it's should be cool. Yeah, and I don't know. It just again the unrealistic death stuff. I was just like.
And I
took me out.
Like you said, if it has like a point, it was intentional, that's cool. Yeah. Outside of that, I don't get how that's still happening. Like, how does a whole team be like, yeah, no, then he just wakes up. Yeah. Like nobody's like, can we figure out a way that he survives that makes sense?
Something. Yeah. And, the other craziest bit is 90% of this movie is him like running from them, and they can see him for a lot of it. Yeah. And it's literally just like a straight.
So no one snipes him.
Well, yeah, that's what they do. They pull out the sniper, but a lot of times they're like, no, we should torture him a little bit. Or like they make bad decisions. Yeah. But there is a clear as day moment where, and they all have like machine guns, where all they had to do was shoot, because it's literally a flat land. And he's just running on foot. Like,
I feel like you can't write yourself into those scenes anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't. So it really, if you ever decide to see it, because
it sounds like it's. So keeper or sleeper?
That's the question.
Yikes.
I think it's like one of the lightest keepers, because it's interesting to see where it goes. The action can be cool when it happens. There's some cool kills I haven't seen in anything else. Sure. But yeah, it's and it's not crazy long. It's only like an hour and a half.
Okay.
It feels like a short film that got extended into a movie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like those scenes were extended. Yeah. It just felt like a concept that totally could have worked in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
they decided to make it longer.
They decided to make it longer. So it is like the weakest keeper I can give out.
A weaker.
No.
So it's keeper. It's keeper?
Yeah, it's a keeper.
Tim's calling it a keeper.
Yep.
You got anything else?
One quick thing in video games.
Oh, in games?
Yep.
All right. Oh. We are late.
We are late. What time is it?
6:30.
Okay, I'll be quick. Let's see. They got a dog with a gun inside a dog with a gun inside a tank. I love Trent Reznor. He's so cool. Reznor. I don't know who he is, so I can't say he's cool. Right? And hey, hi, Mango. Hi, pal. All right, you ready to wrap this battle area up?
Yes, sir. What it is, what it do.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal just came out with a new show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I thought it would be fun to go and revisit the original game.
I loved that game.
Okay. Dude, it sucks.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. Oh my god.
I think I tried to play it a few years ago.
The biggest problem with it is it's supposed to be a free-for-all game.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the sicko was, but the AI is set to strictly only hunt you down. Only you.
Yeah.
And they are incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
They destroy you.
And it's so hard to aim. Like, the graphics are so rough.
Oh my god.
If somehow you're unfamiliar with the concept, Twisted Metal is it's basically like a demolition derby type thing, but you all have weapons. Yeah. So Sweet Tooth is the very famous ice cream truck driver clown guy. And you like shoot missiles and you play as him, and what I assume is just the worst looking rectangle in history.
Oh my god. So point. Yeah, you could choose a bunch of different racers. I chose Sweet Tooth because you gotta. So they all have their own special weapon.
Right.
Sweet Tooth throws a big meat chunk. And the meat chunk takes a massive amount of health.
Oh yeah.
So
but you gotta hit someone.
But you gotta hit someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, the aiming's a nightmare. Again, the AI, so I beat it, but that I needed save states and rewinds. Yeah. So as the stages progress, you get more and more cars that are chasing you and that you had to kill.
Right.
So once you get to the second to last stage, it's 8 versus 1.
Oh my god! I definitely never got far enough to realize that happened.
It's a freaking nightmare.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's the stages are like, some are just a straight path and just a line. So there's 6 cars coming towards you, and you're like, "How do I do this?
What are you supposed to do?
Turn around and drive away." Yeah, but the weapons it's cool conceptually. Yeah, the idea was bigger than what they could do with the game.
Which it's so crazy because there were multiple sequels.
Yes,
and I remember playing that game a lot. Like that was enough back then. Like I was like, this game rules. I loved it. And there was actually a Demolition Derby game too. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I never played it, but I do remember it.
Oh man, I played it a ton. So it's just funny because I bet that game doesn't hold up very well either. It's just, you have driving mechanics and aiming mechanics, and it's such an early PS1 title too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
So it's funny to go back and be like, this is the most broken thing.
Oh my god. So how the way to beat it, other than saving and rewinding, is there are passwords that you can use to start you on each level. So it is possible to beat, but you only get 3 lives per stage. Okay. And there are ways to heal yourself. There's these little like healing pads.
Yep.
So I think it definitely is possible with a little like time and patience and learning what the maps are like.
Sure.
But I'll tell you, it's a nightmare.
Are you gonna do it?
I've done it.
Oh, you finished it?
I did finish it.
Wow.
But again, that's with rewinds and save states and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's I would say skip it. It's a sleeper. But Twisted Metal Black is really good, and that's on the PS2.
Okay.
And Twisted Metal 2, I know I've played and I liked it. Yeah. But it's been a while, so I had to revisit it. But I know that one's miles above the first one.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I don't know how they sold that game. So
concept alone.
Yeah.
Concept, character design.
And that's the thing, the characters are cool. They all have like a dark backstory. And then when you beat it, they all just want a wish granted. So the main villain, his name's Calypso. Yeah. And that's why the whole thing's happening, is he's like, whoever can survive my death trial will get a wish.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And so Sweet Tooth wishes for like a toy in a bag, and it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But
I mean, it shows you that the idea itself had some had some legs because it just went on and they were like, all right, now let's do it better.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like it was hard to do.
All they needed to do was make it playable.
Dude.
So yeah, it's only worth revisiting if you're like sitting on it and
you're a completionist.
Yeah. I guess if you want to play the series.
You want to go back to the original.
Yeah. But it hurts. It hurts real bad. It hurts. But you can play that on PS4, PS5. They brought
wow.
Twisted Metal 1 and 2.
So more and more people can be disappointed.
Yep. Black, I think you can play Twisted Metal Black as well, actually. But
hopefully.
I think so.
That's the one to play.
That's a good one. But, and then they actually did a whole new series on PS3, just called Twisted Metal.
Did you play any of those?
I did play the PS3 one. I say series, it was only one. But it was they were cool. They were just modern, visually cool and stuff like that. But Black's the one that really that's their best so far. Yeah.
PS2 rules.
PS2 rules. But yeah, that was it. I just wanted to talk about my nightmarish experience and how unfair and broken and evil the game is. It's the devil.
You know what else is unfair?
What?
Having to say goodbye. That sounded like more dramatic than it is.
I know.
It's just the end of the episode.
the podcast.
So listen, guys. Drop some words in chat if you are here hanging out with us on stream. Tim's gonna do end babble here in a second. A reminder: you can find us all over the place at the Keep Up Podcast. I should say
us collectively
working on. I'm planning some things. I want to just. Some things I want to add to the show and some things I would love to do in video format. And I'm going to make some posts and some stories for you guys to respond to, maybe some polls. But I want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you guys. Tim just doesn't know yet because he doesn't know what I'm about to say.
I just want to hear.
What would you like to hear more of from us? Or is there something you would want less of? Like, I'm not asking you to fully curate the show, but what do you, when you listen, is there something that you're like, oh, I hope they do this? Is there a segment you wish was longer or that we visited more?
Or do you want something to be shorter?
Yeah.
Do you hate when we talk about video games for 4 hours?
Any ideas like that? And I'm not saying that the show's going to drastically change or anything like that, but I have some ideas I wanted to incorporate, and Tim and I have started talking about it a little bit, hopefully over the next few months. And I thought it would be cool to hear from you guys, the listeners, and people who hang out with us on stream, visit us on YouTube. Anything you would like to see us do more of, or even just new things that you haven't seen us do that you think you'd like to see, whatever it is, you can hit us up on Instagram. That'd probably be the best way for suggestions and things like that, either comments or messages at the Keep Up Podcast. Tim, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and all your stuff?
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads, on X. Nope, I'm Collect Revo. Collection Revo?
Collect
Revo on X, aka Twitter, YouTube, Twitter, wherever I will be.
All the places.
You can find me.
Yeah.
Brett, where can the people find you?
Best way is to find me on Instagram at This Drink I Like It. That is my personal page. You can hit me up there and hang out with me there. But there's also a link tree that will have links to my music, other podcasts, streaming stuff, all that. So that is the way to do it at This Drink I Like It. Tim's now going to do what's called End Babble. Tim, your theme tonight is April.
One more time, Brett.
Tim, your theme tonight is Chocolate Cake April O'Neil's Facebook page.
Okay.
This has been episode number 255. You guys rule. We love you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Birthdays come once a year. Sometimes twice if you're a twin. But this year, Facebook has told us April O'Neil's birthday is closer than we think when she's a sexy cat or maybe an old hat. She is strong-willed. She is great. She is the great April O'Neil. And she leaves us a gift on our birthday of a nice chocolate cake. She leaves the cake at our doorstep and she goes, wow. And we say thank you to the great April O'Neil for giving us the cake, for giving us comedy, for giving us a hot lady. And so I'll leave you with this. Cartoon characters are only as fake as you let them be. Grow your own April O'Neil at chia.com/April O'Neil. Thank you.
At chia.com/April O'Neil.
Do you think chia? Oh, I didn't even say chia pet.
You didn't.
chia.com.
Pour yourself a chia.
I can't find you anywhere. Pizza. It's okay.
While you're wrapping up, I'm going to go ask Mom if she wants Rachel to save us a spot at the...
Oh, why? Is it busy?
That is.
Okay.
Which
yeah.
Is weird.
Yeah, but it's new. Oh. Well, folks, that's where we're going to call it tonight. I appreciate you all being here. Doggy, it's the Bobo. The Bobo Cam. It's the great Da Bobo. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be continuing my painful journey through the Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke. Oh, my legs! Doggy, it's da Bobo. I had to move this over before it spills and destroys my life. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for being incredible. I am not going to raid tonight because I'm a monster. Mostly because we're gonna go out to eat. And, you know, I just got no words. Look at this creepy shirt. Ooh. Yeah, Bobo, he's always here. Pizza, if you're ever looking around, Bobo's here. The camera is now Bobo Cam. But yeah, I appreciate you all being here. I hope you enjoyed my beard. But yeah, so we're not going to raid because I'm a lazy bones. But I will be back tomorrow. For a normal stream or actually we should start right at 4 p.m. Eastern. I think it's my only normal stream this week. Maybe Sonic Sunday. Sonic Sunday should be normal too. But yeah, thanks guys for being here. There's Brett. And we're going to head on out. So have a good night. Brett, any last words? What are you eating?
Okay.
What? Cheez-Its?
A payday.
A payday? A payday. A payday.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Bye!